How would it feel to have a thriving fitness business and have the freedom to enjoy life at the fullest? Well, that is exactly what the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show is going to give you. My name is Mathew Park. This is Jaime Filer.
Hey guys.
And we are here to serve.
Welcome to the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show. I'm Jaime Filer, co-host of the TRM show, and I am excited, I am ecstatic, I am humbled to be with Mathew Park, the creator of the TRM show, to discuss 3 strategies on how to earn more without spending more time. Mathew, how are you, sir?
I am doing fabulous now that I'm with you this morning.
Oh, stop. You've already had quite the busy day, I've heard.
I have. Action-packed, booked 5 more sales calls on a roll. Yeah.
I was going to say not busy. I apologize. I misspoke. You're productive. You're not busy. Nobody is busy.
High leverage sales calls.
Amen to that. I love it. I love it so much. So let's dive into the topic for today. Strategies on making more, but spending less time. Because a lot of trainers think that if they want to earn more, they have to take on more clients. And we all know more clients mean more hours, because that's essentially what we've been taught in personal training, hours for dollars. But that is not the TRM way. That is not what we teach our trainers. And they are happier and more fulfilled from it.
100%. You know what? It's almost a topic, Jaime, that you obviously know all too well, being that you have this thriving online business. You're a mentor in TRM. You're like leading all these coaches and trainers, and you're taking these weekends off with your wife, hanging out, chilling, having a great time, and still coming back and not playing catch up, but actually just flowing with your bit, which is so critical. So I'm pumped about this because I feel it's going to be a great one for us to share and just share all this collective wisdom.
Amen. Now, Matt, do you want to start small and then grow to the crescendo, or do you want to bring the controversial one first and then we can go on to the other strategies?
Let's go controversy first.
All right. Give me the title that you are oh so proud of and cannot say with a straight face.
Stack, don't spread. So I'm just going to leave it there. You guys can have your imagination go wild.
Yep. Guys, please don't Google that. Let Matt explain it before you type that into the Google search bar. Matt.
Oh, goodness gracious.
What is stacking, not spreading?
Well, stacking, not spreading comes into the number 2 philosophy of this whole thing, which we'll get in a second, is, taking those high leverage items that you have identified in your business and really stacking them in your calendar strategically than just spreading yourself. And it can go multiple ways. It could be the aspect of, as opposed to double shifting your day, you go into one compact day, right? You go from double shifting, or you go from check-ins over 3 days a week to check-ins over one compact period of a week. You might go into your mentoring with your clients over 3 times a week and have it as 1 time a week. It's really looking at your process right now in your calendar and how can you stack it more effectively to leverage your business more effectively without adding all this extra time and spreading in the course of a week.
Brilliant. So that is also something that we call time chunking in TRM, right? Do all of the things, we have trainers, let's say color code. Matt, do you want to explain what the double shift means? Because people might not know that definition.
So most trainers who come in TRM obviously are busy coaches, already having about 40 hours a week with clients already. And they're usually doing like a Monday morning shift and like a Monday afternoon evening shift, right? With kind of midday kind of off, which is, if you like that and you feel it's productive, that's totally up to you as a business owner when you're running your business. But we find the most productive coaches in TRM are the ones that stack their hours more strategically. Say, for example, 3 key mornings during the week could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 a.m. to noon, and then the rest of the day basically is off. And then basically you might do Tuesdays and Thursdays from, let's say, 3 to 1 to 3 or 1 to 6, what basically it is for you guys. So as opposed to having like Monday 6 to noon and then 3 to 7, which could be a really heavy day of clients and unoptimized times chunking in your day.
Yeah, guys, especially if you have a significant other or a kid, the last thing you want to do is be working till 7, right? At that point, you may as well get a 9 to 5 job and work for somebody else. But as always, that's not why we do this.
100%, Jamie. That's one thing I want to ask you, because obviously right now with your business right now, you obviously can do, like, you're one of the rare breeds, I would say, in TRM that actually can do multiple things successfully. I'm not as good as you at that yet. Probably never will be. How do you do your thing? Because you're able to, like, grow your online business right now, Filer's training so successfully, be a mentor in TRM, coach members in TRM, plus, First Form as well. You're really kind of a unique breed. How do you do it?
I actually do hour by hour. So I believe I learned this when I was in my first TRM ever, which was the 3rd or 4th semester of it. And it's called Pomodoro's method. And it's when you do something, like only one task, but it's for maybe 55 to 60 minutes. And then you take a break for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you do something else for 55 to 60 minutes. And this is because I don't have ADD. I don't have ADHD. I just get bored. I don't like making programs for more than an hour. I don't like staring at my phone, answering DMs for more than an hour. I don't like doing check-ins for more than an hour. So what I do is check-ins for an hour, answering DMs for an hour, programming for an hour with 5-minute breaks in between. And then that is actually the majority of everything I do as a personal trainer. Obviously, anything on the back end with TRM, I do what First Form calls my retention reach outs, stuff like that, check in with my VA, but those are just subtle tasks. Everything should be able to be done in that 1 hour chunk.
That's a great stack, not spread technique, Jamie.
Yep. Oh yeah, 100%. It's just that my stack would be, let's say, a 1 hour chunk instead of 2 to 3 hours. But I believe in concentrated focus. Matt, your tight bubble of laser-like focus.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing check-ins, don't have your phone on you. If you're doing your DMs, don't have your laptop open. Just do that one thing with 100% laser focus, and it will get done in an hour, I assure you.
So I guess for you, the biggest thing you find is 1 hour chunks, 5-minute breaks.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
How many can you do in a day? Like, can you do 5 hours of that a day, or 4 hours? Like, what's your most?
I would say 4 to 5.
Okay,
I mean, we proved when I went to the first time I ever tried working a total of 2 hours per day was in November when Katie and I went to Costa Rica. And it's because the culture there, they take siestas in the middle of the day because it just gets so hot that you can't go out between like noon and 2 or 1 and 3. So when Katie would take a nap, like the adult she is, I'd say, what do you want me to do? What am I supposed to do? I'm not tired. And she's like, why don't you just work? I said, oh, well, okay. So I worked for 2 hours for 5 days, and November was one of my most successful November 2020. So also in the middle of COVID was one of my most successful months ever. So can I do it in 4? Yes. Can I do it in 2? Also, yes.
Interesting. And guys, right now, listening, guys, just so you guys are aware that James' business right now probably earns around that 40K month mark on a routine basis, guys. So whether you're doing 4 to 2 hours, during the course of the day, that's super cool, because that's like next level efficiency, Jamie.
Yep. But I mean, I want to scale it back because this is, I want to make sure that no one's like, oh my God, there's no way I'd be able to do it. And then they just turn the podcast off. Right. It started with 13, guys. Once upon a time, there were 13-hour days and a very patient wife. And then it became 10 and then 8, like a normal person. And then I started to become more efficient, and 8 became 6, became 4. And 4 to 6 is pretty much the norm for me now.
And that was probably, that was over 2.5. That was over 2.5 years process.
Yeah, absolutely. It was not overnight. Right. Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. I love it.
Strategy number 2. Let's talk low leverage first.
Beautiful. Low leverage. So things right now, guys, that you are doing that if you paid somebody $20 an hour or $15, what it basically is for you guys, you could offboard those things. The things that really don't give you joy in your business. Now, obviously, if you're a one-person show right now, which almost all of us are when we first begin our businesses, we're doing everything, and that's normal when you first begin your business, right, Jamie? When you're building your business up from there.
Sure.
But as you grow and you grow from 3 to 5 to 10K a month and more in your business, obviously the leverage things get offboarded to somebody who has joy doing them themselves, who you can pay less, less, but you can earn more. And it gives you a chance to offboard maybe 5 hours, 5 hours a week of work to somebody who actually enjoys doing invoicing or bookkeeping or other things as well that you could have somebody else do. And you can focus more on things that are high leverage, which goes into, I'm kind of like going too fast. I'm sorry now, Jane, but
no, you're not.
You can identify the process. So
I had an interesting chat with one of our members. I had a coaching call with one of our members of TRM 10K yesterday, and he was asking me about reaching out to your email database if you have more than 200 people. And so this is a guy in the 10K program, so he's making 10K or less. And I said, do you have an extra $50? And he said, yeah, like I can find $50. And I said, great. Go on Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. Guys, write it down now. And there are people who will do data entry for you for $13 an hour. And you'd be surprised how many emails they can get through in 1 hour. I have somebody who went through over 400 emails, sending them out individually, and it cost me a total of $86. I don't care whether you're a 10K trainer, a 5K trainer, or a 40K trainer, you can afford $86. Because if even one of those emails writes back and it agrees to hop on a catch-up call with you or a compatibility call with you, or even just writes you back and says, oh my God, you were on my mind. I got fat over the summer. I need you. Then that $86 paid for itself at least twice over.
That's a great analogy.
Pardon?
That's an awesome analogy.
Yes, 100%. 100%. So there are websites where people, like Matt said, there are people who want to do the work that you don't want to do or that isn't within your area of genius. And they can send out 400 emails in 4 hours for $86, and you will make at least one sale off that.
I have an example I want to share, if I could, Jamie, for a second. Is, let's say, for example, right now, that if you combine right now, you're doing 40 hours a week of training with clients and 15 hours a week of extra work, whether that's content, sales calls, invoicing, and so forth in the course of. So basically, it's 55 hours of actual total work you're doing in the course of a week. Just ballpark figure.
Yep.
Let's say that even if you started baby steps small, like Jamie just talked about, guys. Let's say, for example, that even if you carve back, pay someone even 4 hours a week, just 4 hours. Which could be invoicing clients, scheduling client session in the course of a week. It could be collections, and it could be basic admin work, just for the course of the week for you to help you out. Basically 1 hour a day for, 4 days. And that was $10 an hour activity for now, say $40 for now, right? So let's say, for example, you're charging $100 an hour right now for your PT services, $100 an hour, right? And you pay somebody else $10 an hour for something else. You get 4 hours back. Even if those 4 hours back you get in the week, even if you just did one more sales call, that's paying for it and making profit. And there could be 2 extra hours for your kids, and it could be 1 extra hour making a couple more posts in the week, and it could be maybe 1 more sales call. Like, that's how simple it can start, guys, with just 4 simple hours in a week, even 3 hours a week.
Yep. That is 100% true. So guys, what we would recommend is writing down low leverage. And remember, I think we've talked about this on a podcast before. The definition of low leverage is when you, there's several definitions. One is when you have a rate per hour in your mind that you think you're worth, be it 70, be it 100, be it 150. A low leverage activity is anything that doesn't meet that number. We use the analogy of mowing your own lawn. What's that worth to you? Is it worth $100 an hour to mow your lawn? If you've been featured on Home and Garden television, then yes, it would probably be worth $100. For the rest of us, that's like a $7 to $12 an hour activity. Okay, so we're not mowing our lawn. Sending out an email to somebody who worked with you 2 years ago. Again, is that worth $70 an hour? Probably not. This is why we offboard it. Next definition of low leverage activity, something you don't like. Just something that doesn't set your heart on fire, because anything that gets you fired up is priceless.
Yes.
So if it doesn't fire you, if it doesn't light you up, it won't get you up, right? As Rockstar Ross always says. And then the last one is if you're just genuinely not good at it. Now, you might absolutely love editing your own YouTube videos. but it takes you forever because you're a grandpa and you just don't understand technology. So you're constantly Google searching iMovie, this and that. Offboard it. There's a $5 for YouTube editing. Matt,
I love that.
did I miss anything?
Oh, no, that's fabulous. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Will you transition us into high leverage activities?
The fun ones. So the things that obviously, you know, we can pay ourselves, and obviously you're earning more from, and these things. So things, guys, that you're doing right now in your business that obviously are either sales calls, they could be, you know, clumping your client sessions together, you know, into 2 or 3 at a time. It could be even learning and upgrading your skills for yourself as a trainer and a coach. It could mean you making really content that obviously speaks to your avatar and your perfect clientele. It could mean jumping on a coaching call with Jaime Filer or myself and like getting some coaching from either one of us to grow your businesses. It could mean being in TRM 10K to grow your business as well, to actually leverage and grow your business from there. It could mean prospecting. It could mean building your follow-up for your back end of your business model, building SOPs, you know, all those kind of things in your business model, guys. So things obviously you can do that duplicate, grow, leverage your time, that help you go from, you know, where you are right now to where you want to go in your business, obviously, guys. And obviously the things that bring you joy in your business, things that actually make you happy and excited, and that, you know, are an area that actually you feel like obviously you can actually grow with, but also you enjoy doing it at the same time.
I love that. Now, Matt, I want to touch on something you quickly glossed over, and it's that SOP. For those of you who have never heard that acronym before, guys, SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedure, right? This is essentially how McDonald's makes a Big Mac, okay? Regardless of whether you live in Montreal, Canada, or Clearwater, Florida, or somewhere in North Africa, a Big Mac will be made the same way. Why? Because McDonald's has an SOP for how the Big Mac is made. We all know it's a standard operating procedure. Okay. When you go through the line at Starbucks, same thing. Why is this a high leverage activity? Because the goal is for you to eventually not do anything within your business, maybe even sell it one day. But in the meantime, you're going to have a VP of operations. You're going to have a virtual assistant. You're going to have an executive assistant who runs your stuff for you. But how can they do that when they're constantly asking you questions? You can't step away. That's why we create an SOP. So that's something I wanted to address. The other one is that sometimes what you think is low leverage is actually high leverage. And I want to use our friend Patrick McGinnis as an example of this. Some of you might hate creating captions for Instagram because it's time consuming. And you're like, oh my God, I feel like I've said the same thing a million times. How do you think Patty got to $60,000 a month? Is by writing captions that resonated with his audience. Even though he may have found it tedious, and even though he may still feel like he's saying the same thing 3 times a week, what he writes resonates with his audience. It hits them in the heart, it punches them in the gut, and they buy from him. Mm-hmm. So even though you might not pay yourself $120 an hour just to write an Instagram caption, that one post he makes brings in like 300 leads. So he's paid himself back $60,000 on that one caption.
That's a great example, Jaime. My gosh, you know, and it's just, imagine this, guys. So imagine if you could just carve in an extra hour, hour and a half every day on these kind of things, whether it's going to be half an hour in that time of making that post, like Jaime talked about, that a caption or a post. It could mean an email to your email list of 100 people on the list for now. It could mean a video you're making for your YouTube or your Instagram or whatever else that generates, again, more leads for your business. It could mean just doing 2 follow-ups or 3 follow-ups in the other half an hour of time to really kind of get those clients back on a phone call again. If you did that for 5 days straight, that's 5 hours of work you didn't do before that literally could mean 5 more sales in the course of a week, or even 3 or 10 more. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Matt, what is something recently you've decided was both, give us an example of like a high and a low leverage for you?
Well, I really, for me, I've been reading more, and I would say that also building more SOPs right now for TRM, which I haven't been doing as much before, and now I'm doing more of that. Yeah. And those 2 things, it's funny because those 2 things I kept putting off. And I realized when I'm doing those things for our team and our company, it helps all of us be more clear, which actually allows us to be more focused to grow the whole company as a whole. Cool. So those 2 things for me, SOPs and more reading for me are the 2 things for me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about for you?
Funny you should say that. I was actually going to say reading. I recently purchased a book on NLP after being away with Jeff and Nick Ross for the weekend. I realized that might be the future of, obviously not core building. So I realized that, 2 years ago, I would not have paid myself $120 an hour to read a book.
Yeah.
I am willing to bet my old self that after reading this book, I'd pay myself $200 an hour just to read. 100%.
Okay, what you said there actually is very cool. Okay, you just said pay yourself this much an hour to read a book. Now imagine if we actually thought that way with reading.
Yeah.
That kind of gives more perspective on reading, actually, when you think about that.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. Yep.
I'm like, man, if I pay myself so much an hour to go read a book, I'm like, I want to go read a book. Now that I'm thinking of this way, right?
Yep, absolutely. And then the other one I want to get into more is Facebook and Instagram lives, because I make stories all the time, but to me, the stories aren't as interactive. People can do quick reactions after the fact, and then either my VA or myself can respond to them. But there's nothing like the conversation that happens when you go live with your Facebook group or your Instagram audience. So I would like to start doing more of that going forward.
That is a great example, Jaime, going live on your Facebook, Instagram, and the groups. Tremendous. Yep. I love it.
Matt, anything else you would like to add about strategies to make more, but do less?
You bet. So the last tip for you guys basically is, with these steps we kind of gave you guys today right now, is take the bite-sized chunks, obviously, that apply to you today. Whether it's just going to be the one out of the three, maybe it's stack, not over, as opposed to spreading. Maybe it's going to be leverage, whatever basically it is, and just apply one thing in the next 7 days. One thing in your business, guys. If it's carving out 1 hour for high leverage things in the morning, do that for 7 days. Let us know how it actually goes for you guys. If it's going to be stacking up more things in the morning to leverage more of your time, do that for the course of 7 days. But pick one thing, act on it. Keep us in the loop.
I like that. Yes, guys, always feel free to update us in the Facebook group. We are currently live. All right, Matt, I want to thank you so much for your gold nuggets, for the topic, for your insight, for your personality, everything. You were the king.
Well, Jaime, I got to say thank you, because you ran this show like a freaking glove. Feel like I'm like on top of the world. Just you leading this call, I'm like, my goodness, I feel special.
I'm so glad.
You're doing a good job.
Guys, if you found value in today's episode, please share it on your Instagram, your Facebook. Be sure to tag at Jaime91, at mindset_Matt with 2 T's, at Trainer Revenue Multiplier. We are also on all major podcast platforms. So that's iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, etc. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the episodes. You can also catch us in the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Facebook group every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. live. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of you guys, and have an amazing day.